Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elka Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold $15 million and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, which teaches our 5 strategies for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't helping creative entrepreneurs just like you create profitable e-commerce businesses, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you, the creative, can take to make money in your e-commerce business on Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to achieving freedom with your time, location, and finances.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of, as long as you work smarter, not harder. And we're here to give you the tools you need to make your dreams happen. Let's get started. Hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen. And in this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, we're going to talk to you about investing in yourself and how it is very important to invest in yourself and your Zazzle business if you want to move forward and level up and see the success that you are striving for in your Zazzle business.
And that success means that you can achieve your dream goals, which is not so specifically your number, the number of dollars you want to make on Zazzle, but what you do with those numbers. And that's going to be the ultimate objective, is to get you to that dream life that you've always wanted to have, but never really had that way to get there. And when we first started on Zazzle, we also did not know how to get to our dream goal of earning over $1 million. We've now achieved that goal. Combined, we have made over $1.5 million and counting. But it wasn't easy at the beginning because we didn't have anybody that we were able to ask questions to or get that business coaching that we needed in order to run our businesses like a CEO. And that's actually cool because we're sitting here on the set of the Creative CEO Mastermind. We've just finished another 5-day intensive Creative CEO Mastermind with a group of participants who are now set and ready with their 6-figure business plan specific for their own Zazzle business. And each one of those business plans was very different. But by having experts like Jen and I help each of the participants get that 6-figure plan set specifically for them has allowed them now to feel confident and have the complete clarity to know what to do in order to get there. And that's what we were missing at the beginning. So once we started getting information by investing in ourselves to get business and coaching, business training from coaches, and also design training and so on, all the components that we needed in order to get our business up and running on Zazzle to get to those figures that we needed in order to end up at 1.5 million. We started to see those results. And our students, now that they're getting the training from us, are getting the results a lot quicker than what we did because they're getting the help that they need.
Yeah. So when we first started out on Zazzle, as you mentioned, there wasn't anyone like who we are to our students right now. There were no mentors, there were no teachers or anybody who was giving advice on how to create a profitable Zazzle business. So we had to be a little bit inventive in terms of investing in ourselves and learning the things that we use to implement into our Zazzle business. And so we watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to use Photoshop better. We invested in some graphics. We looked at a lot of business coaches, but like business coaches on a general scheme, not specific to Zazzle. And so we took the information that we learned and we created what we've created now, which is an amazing community to help students and Zazzle designers like you learn how to create profitable businesses on Zazzle.
Yeah, but the point here is that it can't just be found on YouTube. So that's what we realized.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to say, is that after we created the structure that we wanted to for our Zazzle businesses by finding out the information on our own because it wasn't readily available for us, we decided to create a structure for students and people who want to learn more about their Zazzle business to invest in themselves and learn more on how to create a profitable Zazzle business. And that's why it's so specific to Zazzle and creating a Zazzle business that's profitable for you, because we realized that there was a specific need for that it wasn't available for us. And we want to give you the opportunity to learn in a faster capacity than we were able to at any point throughout our Zazzle business. And this is why we realized how important investing in yourself was, because we invested in ourselves for our Zazzle business and we saw so many amazing results from that, but it wasn't actually tailored and specific to Zazzle. And so after our students, for example, have invested in themselves with our masterminds and also our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, they have seen amazing results because they've realized the importance of investing in themselves and getting the information that they can't always find out or figure out on their own, like on YouTube, for example. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Even when we paid for business coaches, they had a business coach approach that was specific to what they used to, that they knew, rather than what it was specific for Zazzle. So the most important thing is that to find the training and the experts of the people that have already accomplished what it is that you want to accomplish, that's where you have to invest in yourself. Because, even though we paid a lot of good money to have business coaches teach us things, we only learned what they know. And unfortunately, it wasn't geared specifically towards Zazzle. So, but now that that is available to all of our students and our participants in our masterminds, they are seeing results so much quicker because they don't have to take what they've learned and adapt it to Zazzle. They just know what to do specifically on Zazzle based on core business training, which is, of course, what we bring to the table as well, because we took that core business training and we then applied it specifically to how to make that work on Zazzle. And that's, of course, not only evident in our results in terms of us making 1.5 million and counting, because we still have active Zazzle businesses, but all the students who have invested in themselves and gotten the training through our particular course and or mastermind and coaching options are now doing really, really well. One of our students, Brendan, he's just made over $100,000 in take home. And then a lot of other students are not too far behind with this, of results like 40,000, 50,000, 20,000. 25,000. Lots of people have reached what we call those levels that Zazzle uses to distinguish different designers on Zazzle. And so Brandon just hit the gold pro designer level, and there are many students that have hit the silver, which is 25,000 pro designer level. And we're so excited because these students that came to us before they started with us and our training, they were having trouble. They didn't even make it to bronze, which is $1,000 earnings, or they had not even made $100 before they started. And now they are just crushing it, as we call it, and becoming very much aware of what potential Zazzle has once you get the training that you need, the business training, because us as creatives, we don't actually understand the business side of things. So we think if we put up a great design, it's going to work. But that's not all that you need in a Zazzle business.
Yeah. And a lot of the Zazzle designers who have now become our students recognize that at the beginning or even midway through their Zazzle business journey. And some of our students have actually told us, I wish I would have found you years ago, because if not, I would have not wasted so much time.
Yes.
And it is just amazing to see the results of our students once they realize that they need to invest in themselves and to actually get the training for the business side of things, and also sometimes the design aspect side of things. We have students who have decided that they want to make money online, but they came across Zazzle and now they're just trying to actually make Zazzle work for them. They don't really have a creative bone in their body, but they realize that there is a possibility for them to make money online. And we help them understand the creative aspect as well, and the business side too.
Yes.
So we help our students in all ways in their Zazzle business and their Zazzle journey. And I just wanted to jump in and say, if you actually apply this to sort of daily routine or daily life, you would invest in yourself in a personal trainer, for example, who knew their stuff. Like you would invest in somebody who looked fit, who knew their diet, who worked out regularly, who had the results and actually showed you the results physically on their body to say, I know what I'm doing. And so that's why you invest in yourself with a mentor too, who has the things that you want to do. And our Zazzle success is where you want to go. And our students realize that they do also want to make the money that we've made. They want to follow in our footsteps, and they want to follow in our footsteps actually faster than how we got there. And we give them the tools to do so because we've realized that there's a need for that, especially in the Zazzle marketplace, because there's no one else like us. There are no other courses like ours where you get such tailored advice, and also masterminds. There are no masterminds, like ours, where you get such tailored advice to create a 6-figure Zazzle business plan to grow your Zazzle business. And
well, there's also no one who's achieved as much as we have on Zazzle. So we are the Zazzle experts. And actually, some people say we're the Zazzle gurus, which is kind of, I actually trip over that because am I a guru? And is Jen a guru? But I think we are because we have done everything. We've been through the trenches. We've done everything that you might be experiencing right now. And we've come up with solutions. And now all of a sudden you just have to crack open your course or be part of one of our coaching programs and you get the answers. You get to ask us those questions. But the point here is not so much as like how you can use us, but we want to get back to the investment that you have to make, because that's whenever someone actually becomes part of our training in some way or another, they go, why did I wait so long?
Yeah.
And the reason can be many, and that's what we want to talk about here, because it's not that we have to prove ourselves. We are already proven. The thing is that what is stopping you from doing that for yourself, whether that's to go to that personal trainer, as Jen mentioned, and get those things that you need, like the fitness plan and the eating plan, in order to get that same body. But what's stopping you from making that commitment to put that dollar value towards your in development so that you can achieve that goal that goes like, oh man, I want to be just like Jen and Elka. I want to make $1 million on Zazzle. And then the first thing you do is you go, okay, I'm just going to open up my Zazzle store. But then there's nothing else that goes along with that. And you go, that's going to work for me. But it's not going to work for you, because that means that you would have to take that same journey that we did for 13 years we did make money before that, but I'm just saying it's taken us 13 years to make 1.5 million together. Had we had a mentor like the two of us back a couple of years ago when we first started, then we would be so much further ahead. And so we want to talk about what may stop you from just going, well, it's a no-brainer. You have to invest in yourself in order to be able to get the results. And why wait so long? And why allow so many other opportunities to be part of your journey when it should just be, this is the solution and I should take it, right? Whether it's us, or if like for Zazzle, or if it's some other things that you should be investing in yourself for, so that you get to that result. What's stopping us from getting that result quicker? Because there's things like worthiness, fear, lack of confidence, worrying about the money. We want to talk about those things for a few minutes.
Yeah. So the one big first thing that came to my mind right away was the fear of not knowing if it'll work or not. And a lot of our students, prior to coming into our mastermind or part of our courses, is that they like to know the facts. They're like, how many hours do I have to work to make the money back? Or how do I know that it'll actually work? How do I know I'm going to make money? And the truth is that you don't actually know if you're going to make money. There is no proven...
There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee, but there is a guarantee that if you put work in and you work smarter rather than harder, you will get to your results faster than you would if you were doing it on your own and you didn't have an idea on how to do it. And we do see the results in our students who sit down and do the work that we told them to, and they follow it perfectly. And those are the students that are seeing the results like what we just explained with Brandon. With $100,000, we have students for $25,000, then $30,000 and $40,000 and almost $50,000. And we have a lot of students who are getting up to that point in time, that earnings goals as well, because they're following our structure and our strategies. And so when you have that fear, you're already putting that thought in your mind that says, I'm not going to make it work. Like, it's not going to work for me because I don't have the proof. I don't know. And it's just, I'm scared. It's not going to work. So that negative feeling is already ingrained in your thinking when you start to actually like apply things to your Zazzle business.
Yeah, or wonder if you should invest.
Yeah.
Or in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you don't put that value to the, okay, I'm going to make this work. This is going to work for me, and I'm not going to be scared, then you'll actually take action in a much different way than if you were scared or fearful of it not working. And it is very much a mindset thing where if you realize, if you see people in society or outside in the outside world and they say, yeah, this is going to work, I'm going to make it work, it's going to happen for me, usually more times than none, things happen for them because they're so confident about it and they have the positivity towards their goal. It might take them a long time, it may take them short time, we don't know exactly how they got there, but they're positive that they're going to get that end goal and they do achieve it. If you look at somebody who's very negative about something or like, it's never going to work for me, the world is against me.
Yeah, prove to me that it's going to work for me. Because that's what you're doing, right? You're not allowing yourself to believe it. You're going to get someone else to show you that it's proof possible for you. Yeah.
And so you'll see a big difference between the positive thinkers and the negative thinkers. And we're not saying that only positivity is going to get you to your end goal. That's not what we're saying. But you have to have a positive mindset and actually be confident in yourself that you can do this and you can't be fearful, because if you're fearful or you're skeptical about if it's going to work or not, then those thoughts are already affecting the way that you're going to make business decisions.
And more than likely you won't actually end up achieving what you want to achieve. And you'll be frustrated and angry afterwards because you may even make up some stories around it about, good thing that you decided not to invest in yourself because it wasn't going to work anyway. So we want to get you not to be in that headspace, because we've had students in that headspace, and then actually once they have seen others and sort of something nudged them to say, okay, I'm going to try this. And then they will go all in and they take full advantage of the training. Then they start to see results and they go, I don't understand what I was doing to hold myself back so much, because it was just that they needed that little bit of a push to say, hey, I've got to get this done. And then the fear left them because the urgency of wanting to get the results was much greater than the fear of saying, well, this won't work for me, or I don't know if this is going to be okay for me to do, or how can this work how can I work this into my schedule and my life? And that's a lot of money and all this stuff. And actually any money is a lot of money. But if you then say, well, it's worth the investment because I'm going to make it back, or I'm going to make this is something that's going to allow me to get my skin in the game, so that I will definitely value that money so much that I will do everything in my power to take full advantage of the training. Those are the students that ultimately do so well because they've decided there's nothing that's going to stop them. And they know already because they have the confidence, because they signed up for a training that really does work.
Have you heard about our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, yet?
Are you a new or current Zazzle designer who's struggling to figure out how it works, worried that you're going to waste your time, and unsure how you can start and scale your Zazzle business to see sales fast?
The Profit by Design Academy includes everything you need to feel confident, clear, and certain about how to create your dream Zazzle business.
Building a profitable Zazzle business has never been easier, because now you have access to the 5 strategies that we use to build our $1 million Zazzle businesses.
Head to the show notes to grab the link, and we will see you inside the Profit by Design Academy. Now let's get back to the show.
So that's one thing. What about?
Well, I like that you touched on the skin in the game, or investing in yourself to actually sort of have a goal to make the money back. And if you need to sort of gamify it like that you're saying, okay, I'm going to put this money into an investment, but I'm going to see how long it takes me to get the money back. There's the negative and the positive side to that. Some people say, okay, well, I'm invested in this much money, and they look at it at the months that it's going to take them to get it back. And that's like an actual positive reinforcement. And they say, okay, I can do this. And like in 2 months, I'm going to make the money back because I can do this.
Yes.
And then other people, or who are more skeptical about investing in themselves, they see it as a negative and they see, oh, well, I will never make that money back.
Or, I haven't made it back in the first month
Yeah.
So that's already like predicting their future for the next 4 months or something. Yeah.
But having skin in the game, quote unquote, and having an investment where you can make the money, like if this is a goal for you to make the money back, the actual putting the money down and realizing that this is actually something that you are putting on a value onto yourself and saying, I am worth it and I am going to make sure that this is money well spent.
Yeah.
Then that actually gives you much more energy to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. We have given a lot of free content out in a lot of our platforms, and we realize that a lot of the people who are just listening only to the free content and don't make the step to a paid piece of content, whether that be one of our courses or the masterminds, or even some of our smaller priced packages, the people who are just listening to the free content, they're always in sort of the same cycle where they're not pushing themselves to go further. And whether that be a statement on their own abilities or also the fact that they just don't see the value of investing in themselves to push themselves to the next level.
Maybe they don't feel worthy of even allowing themselves to put that much money towards something that they really want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I know there's some that are definitely not in financial position to do so, but there are others where you can find the money if you want to, because you find money for other things. And so this is the other part about this mind game that you play with yourself. When you are doing something like paying for something that you need, even if it's like a car or something that you tell yourself you really truly need, then all of a sudden you find the money, right? So the position that you have to put yourself in here is put the Zazzle business and what it will accomplish for you and how your life will change to a better life, because you'll be starting to do the things you want because that's part of what you've decided is your dream life. Then all of a sudden you'll find the money and you'll make sure that that money, because you found it and it was hard for you to find, then again, you have more skin in the game because you are going to be in a position where that's, as Jen said, valuable. And therefore you're going to get the most out of it and push yourself the most. And it's the best situation to be in because you are then in a position where you are going to become one of our best students because you're going to make sure that you get the most out of it. And we're here to serve anyone who is always interested in learning and who is invested in themselves and takes advantage of everything like 1,000%. We're also there to support you. And we're so excited for you, cheering you on, giving you a little bit of extra here and there in terms of like, you know, you could probably use this or can you check out that? We're always here for our students and provide, like, keep space, hold space for them, as it's called, because we're thinking about you. The minute you sign up with our programs, you are now one of the people that we are expecting to do well. And so give yourself that same worthiness that this is not like you're signing, you want to work on Zazzle and you want to make it an effective business for you, but you're not signing up for how to do, you know, basket weaving. You're signing up for how to make money on Zazzle, and you're signing up with a course that people have proven has been successful for them. And so there is no judgment there as to whether or not this is going to be an effective course. It's only a matter of whether you have enough skin in the game and are fully invested, not just financially, in this particular exercise that's going to get you where you want to go with your Zazzle business. The last thing we want to talk about is something that's very interesting, and you may have noticed it even with anything else that you do, in terms of where you need to lay some money down and invest in yourself in order to learn that skill and to accomplish a goal that you want to accomplish. You see it in all aspects. If you want to learn how to drive a car, you get lessons. If you want to learn how to be fit, you hire a trainer. If you want to learn how to crochet or basket weave, as I mentioned, you pay to go to a class. And so when it comes to getting a person to understand that investing in themselves to make more money is just as important, that's where there's some weird disconnect between what our minds think is good and what really needs to happen. It's just the same. It's always the same. If you want to learn something, you have to get someone to teach you. And that means that you have to put some money down to pay for those lessons. And in the case of building a six-figure business, it requires you to understand that there is additional investment. You have to start small. You can start with free if you want to, but you then start to work on a small investment, then a larger investment, then a larger investment. And by doing so, every time you invest, you'll realize that you're getting so much back. You're getting much more back than if you only invested your time, which is what happens when you invest your free stuff. But then you realize your time is much more valuable, and you'd rather put some money down in order to save time. And then when you get to the higher and higher levels, you realize it actually takes a lot more time to get from a couple of $1,000s a year to 10,000 to completely five figures, which goes up to 99,000, and then six figures a year, which is 100,000 and plus. And because you don't have that time, you'd rather get to that finish line faster. You realize I could pay someone or invest in myself to teach me that, to get me to that, to get that insider information, to get those strategies, to get that roadmap, to get those plans. And then you realize, wow, if I invested in myself, the return will be so much greater and so much quicker. At that point, I'll be much more positioned to be able to continue to grow and increase my earnings. And therefore, it's the amount you invested will be so little in comparison to your success. And to get to that mindset takes a little bit of doing, because we don't think about that for when we do activities where we're going to earn more money. We do those very easily to lose weight, or to do a craft, or to have fun being part of a group program where we're getting entertained, or doing a sport. But when it comes to literally moving forward in our business, which will help us to get to our dream life and move us to a different position in our life, or even change our lives completely, transform what it is that we do every day. Instead of going to work 9 to 5, we stay home and we crack open our computer when we feel like it, and you're still making the same amount of money. But that might be very scary for you. And so therefore the investment itself can be the worry and the scariness of putting that first dollar down in order for you to transform your life, because you don't know yet what that's going to be like. And that's one of the reasons why we come right back to the beginning of what we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, where the first thing that people ask us is they want proof that it's going to happen, because it's so scary to make that change. But it's not that they want proof that it's going to work, because they know, otherwise they wouldn't be asking us. What they want proof of is, and maybe that's what you want proof of, is this going to be the good choice for me in my life moving forward? Now, that's something you do have to ask yourself. But if you are already interested and you're kind of checking things out, then subconsciously you're already interested. And you just need that extra proof and that help for you to feel like, yeah, it's the right way to go. You'll be so much happier. You'll have so much more clarity and confidence, and be able to have and do the things that you want to do with the money that you're going to make if you change your entire way that you earn money. And that's the scary part. But we're here right for you. And then when you do invest in yourself, you realize, wow, it was worth it, but totally scary to start with. But once you get further in, you start to realize, well, the first, $1,000 that I invested in myself was huge. But now that you've made a lot more money than 1,000, you go, but I'd like to make more. And it's like, oh, the next course costs $5,000. But you've already made 1,000, and you got proof that you can make, or you invested 1,000. You've already made much more than your 1,000 back. But you have to go through that journey first before you realize it wasn't actually that tough to do that, even though I had that impression that it would be scary for me. And so then all of a sudden, $1,000 investment doesn't sound so bad. 5,000 still sounds scary, but now you've had that $1,000 experience where it's made more, and then now all of a sudden, the 5,000. Even though it's scary and you know it's the right thing to do, when you go and make it, it's still going to be tough. But if you do it, you already have some experience in that you already have that first $1,000 under your belt. And then you keep moving up and up and up. But as you do that, you realize there's more. You've been able to see that more is opening up for you. And that's when it gets really exciting for you. And we hope that you can have that journey. We hope that as you see, not only that you see that you're more worthy of being able to give yourself that investment, but you're capable of using that investment wisely and getting the result that you want. Because you've made really smart decisions. You've checked it out. You are not just haphazardly investing in everything. You're making sure that you make those decisions first to check everything out and get proof that it is what you need. But then as you also invest in higher and higher numbers, you also realize that those are going to give you higher and higher results, because the people that you're investing with who are charging those higher amounts are able to give you that advice that you're looking for, that you can't find for free. And so please be more confident and feel more confident in investing in yourself, whether it's with us or with anyone else, because you are worth it. You have what it takes to be anything that you want. You just need the tools, and you need the insight from the people that have already accomplished what you want. That's how life works. Every single person has gone through this journey. It's only a matter of you starting. Thank you so much for listening to The Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur with Jen and Elka Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to start and scale your Zazzle business so that you can have the passive online income to have location and time freedom to live your dream life.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more creative entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce business.
And don't forget to take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram stories and tag us at Miss Jen Clark and at Elka Clark. We'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from today's episode. See you back here next week.